What's up guys, Nick here. Today I'll be talking about the unibody MacBook Pro and if it's worth it in 2019 because the prices have come down significantly and at first glance the prices might look high. That's just because Apple products generally hold their value better. But I want to talk about if this older laptop is worth it in 2019 for someone who wants to get into video editing or just wants more of a budget Mac that the one they can actually upgrade is just generally lower in price than modern day Macs that would still potentially give you great performance. Fun fact, this video was actually edited on a mid-2010 15-inch unibody MacBook Pro. Has a 2.53 GHz dual-core i5 with 8 GB of 1067 DDR3 RAM. It also has an NVIDIA GT330M with 256 MB of VRAM. And for storage, it has a 300 GB 5400 RPM hard drive. And this laptop will normally run you maybe about $400 to $500 if you're looking for really good condition. But you can get them used on eBay for cheaper prices if you just shop around. And one of the drawbacks of using a laptop of this age is it doesn't support the newest macOS software. This one's only running 10.11.6, and the 15-inch especially does have a pretty big issue, and that is the graphics problem. Basically, Apple uses two graphics processing units. It has an integrated graphics for conserving power, and it has a dedicated chip to maximize the performance of the machine. Now the problem is when the computer automatically switches between the integrated and dedicated graphics card, something goes wrong with the voltage when you're switching, because obviously a less powerful GPU needs less voltage than the dedicated powerful chip. And for some reason there's a kernel in there that just messes everything up. And I know it sounds like a simple fix, just go into system preferences and turn off the automatic graphics switching. But for whatever reason, that doesn't solve it. I'm not sure why with the unibody 15-inch, and they are all known for graphics failure. This one specifically does it when you fire up like YouTube video or something, that it just crashes completely. But when you're editing, it doesn't do that, and I will be making a part 2 talking about timeline performance just to kind of wrap up this whole series. But overall, it is a great laptop besides that issue, and if that's something you can kind of get used to, then but there's probably a way, if you tear it apart to fix everything. But I don't really feel like doing that. And that kind of leads to the next topic, which is upgradability. This laptop is far more upgradable than the Retina MacBook Pros that they released. This one, you can upgrade the storage, you can upgrade the RAM, and I believe even parts of the motherboard can be swapped. Don't quote me on that though, that might be something I just saw on the internet. So basically, you can take out the hard drive, put an SSD in there. You can even take out the optical drive, which is like that CD player. You can add another SSD and run them in RAID to make this thing really fast. Because that's one of the things that really makes these laptops seem slow, is that mechanical hard drive in there. And basically you just need 10 minutes, a Phillips head screwdriver, and a Torx screwdriver, and you can upgrade to SSD storage. And the RAM is even more simple, and there's plenty of great tutorials online talking about all the upgrades you can do to this thing. So the upgradability of these laptops is absolutely incredible. They are far more easy to work on and upgrade than modern day laptops, because everything nowadays is soldered down, which kind of does suck because that limits the end user's upgradability. Now to kind of talk about the screens on these laptops, because these don't have the Retina display, because the Retina MacBook Pros are thinner, they are more of a sleek design, they're more modern. But that's not to say that the screens are bad. This one's running a 1440 by 900 display that's 15-inch. It's not the sharpest thing out there, it's definitely not a Retina display, but it does still have some decent colors. It's relatively sharp, and it will work just for basic video editing and web browsing and things like that. And based on the price of these things, these are a great option for someone who wants to start getting into the video editing and filmmaking world. And newer unibody MacBook Pros even support the newest software, so you could download something like Final Cut or something like that when you want to expand your career, but you still quite don't have the budget to upgrade to like a Retina MacBook Pro. Next, I want to talk about ports. These laptops do have a pretty decent selection of ports. Like this 15-inch has a headphone jack and an audio port, has 2 USB ports, has one Thunderbolt 2 port, has an Ethernet port, it has a FireWire port, and it does use the MagSafe, of course, because MagSafe is absolutely an incredible invention, and it is something that should be on all laptops, but unfortunately, Apple removed it in the new one. I'm not sure why they did that, but that's it for me, guys. I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure to stay tuned for part 2 talking about timeline performance. Peace out.